Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with the 3 months prediction for groups, for the groups that I still have on my list. Probably tomorrow I will be uploading the last one because we are very near for Christmas and the holidays, so I want to take a break. So if you can show your support, I would appreciate it. Please don't forget to give it a like. And maybe you can catch up on my other readings if you haven't already. So I do have a lot of readings. I'm going to do today NCT. NCT, all the units. It's a very general reading for NCT units. And then I pulled an extra card from the Oracle for Lucas, so because I know that probably a lot of people are still worried about him and want to know about him, and I do not do a specific reading for him because since he is in hiatus, we have to be respectful for these very private moments, and at the same time we should trust the processes and why he's still in hiatus. So let's remain positive and let's just read what the other members of NCT have available for them. So starting off, we have the Eight of Wands, the Prince of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Tower, and the Hangman. And from the Oracle of Ancestors and Angels, we got the card of the Moon, that its message is take note of intuitive messages. So I think that this is all, I think that actually this particular card of the Oracle, I think it's directed to the fans, for you to be able to take note of intuitive messages. So probably if you do follow tarot readings, maybe you can get a bit of an understanding about NCT's units, circumstances and changes. Starting off with the Eight of Wands, it seems like the energy is going really fast towards the boys, towards the members. I think that you will see a lot of content. You will see them like publishing a lot of promotion. You will hear a lot from them. Probably you will communicate with the different units, so you will receive content. I don't think that these guys are actually going to stop or have a kind of break. I actually think that they will continue working and they will continue almost like non-stop. This is why the Eight of Wands is here, to remind us that when it comes to NCT productivity, it seems to be a bit of a rush, that actually someone is really interested into, putting a lot of content out there, probably like getting the boys to present in a lot of award shows, in a lot of variety shows. You will hear from the members a lot. And then we have the Prince of Swords, and the Two of Cups. So here is where things get interested. From what I can see here, if I take the whole spread, I think that there's something that probably news are on the way, and probably these news are not very beneficial for this member or these people. I think that there could be a potential dating scandal or dating rumor or a fake rumor or accusations, and I don't think I think it has to do with romance, actually, because I see this news coming really fast toward a specific member, and I think that it's not Lucas, because actually Lucas' energy is a bit on pause. It's a bit on this a slow movement of acceptance of his consequences, of not his consequences, I'm sorry, of his circumstances. I think that he is adapting to what his lifestyle is at the moment, and I think that he's finally not feeling so anxious like he was when this hiatus started. But later I will talk about him a bit more. What I'm seeing here, especially with this Prince of Swords, is that it could potentially be a member that it's an air sign. It could be either an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. And I don't know why, but I lean towards an Aquarius because I know that NCT units have a lot of Aquariuses in the unit. And like I mentioned before, it's not Lucas. I know that Lucas is an Aquarius, but it's not him. It's other air sign of these units. And I think that there's going to be something, a dating scandal, something related to this person that somehow is going to be a bit chaotic for them again. But you know, I just want us to stop a minute and reflect, because then we have the Tower and we have the Hangman. So and I see, since also this Prince of Swords, it represents action. I think that definitely, I don't know, maybe the company will somehow stop this rumor from spreading. But I think that nevertheless, I think that these people are very determined to expose these idols, and I don't know why. The only thing that I can say actually is that it does affects, not only it affects the artist that is being accused or of something, it also affects the fans' experience. You know, and this is why I think that this also talks about Lucas' situation. I think that sometimes people do blame the company for being like, oh, why you keep them in this dungeon? Why don't you let them release content? Why, as if the company is like somehow having them locked somewhere. And actually, I think that with these accusations being made, these rumors, these lies, and everything that is being created in the middle to ruin these artists' careers, the only thing that they do is to damage the real fans' experiences, honestly, because I think that the fans will, the only thing they will get out of this is to delay the members' activities. So it's not a comfortable situation for the ones that are true followers of the group. You know, I think that, and this is why sometimes maybe people are a bit like upset because they are not hearing about Lucas. And you know, I mentioned that actually Lucas is still in hiatus because of some decisions that had been made. It has nothing to do with the scandal. And I think that it can be strategic, you know, it can be like a sort of way, like, okay, you enjoy attacking our artists, okay, we will take our artists away from you for a while. So I think that actually the artist being in hiatus, or the artist being in this sort of pause while they investigate, while they clear the air, while they gather information, while they gather proof, while these people keep spreading misinformation online. You know, this whole mess, the only result of this is to slow down the fans' possibility to enjoy their artist. And I think that somehow what happened with Lucas is this, you know, that you are not hearing for Lucas because somehow the company is like, oh, you want to mess our artist image so much? Okay, we will remove our artist from you. So you will not hear from him until we say so, or until we decide if we want to release him again. So it's like it takes the artist hostage, and at the same time it takes the real fans opportunity to see their favorite artist, you know. So it's a lose, it's a lose, a double lose situation, you know. Nobody wins here, because then we have the Tower and we have the Hangman. So if this were to be a dating scandal or something like that, I think that the only thing this rumor will create is the sense of demolishing everything that these groups or these artists is working on, creating delays, creating things to stop, creating productivity to stop, you know, comebacks cancelled, like a lot of appearances cancelled, a lot of events put on hold because of these rumors. So I think that if this is done by haters, I actually think that they know why they do what they do, you know, because I cannot say what's the nature of the rumor, but it seems to be something romantic because we have the Two of Cups here. So it's definitely something about romance, or you know, like, oh yes, he was dating my friend, or something like that, you know. And I think that the only consequences of this, the only ones that are going to get affected are going to be the fans, because the fans will not be able to connect with that artist. You will not be able to see him. He will be in hiatus, and it's not Lucas. So yes, and it creates delays, you know. It creates a sort of like it seems like they put this artist on a sort of punishment, but not because of what they do, more about to punish the fans, you know. I don't know if I'm making sense, but this is what I see here. And then from the oracle, that it's yes, the oracle of the moon, like I mentioned before, that it's, for me, it's directed to the fans, that it's that you should take note of intuitive messages. So probably this also has to do about them like trying to avoid getting so worried or so affected by these rumors or by what they hear online, you know. I think that definitely is taking these sort of situations to be like, okay, fans, if you do worry for your artist, like the one thing you can do is use your intuition to be able to not get worried or paranoid if these kinds of rumors start happening. You know, I think that definitely these people are very obsessed with this voice. You know, I think that they definitely want to ruin their careers, and I think that the Two of Cups also in the middle is letting me know that it has to do with the sort of fixation on the voice, you know, with the sort of like when you are too obsessed with someone to the point that you think that if this person doesn't belong to you, he will not be able to belong to anyone else, you know. So I think that they are always looking for something, you know, and I think that if they keep digging, they will find something, but it will not be the way they think they are, you know. This is why I think that probably for the fans should be a bit more observant, you know, and a bit more intelligent in that sense, you know. Do not let them fool you, you know. Do not give your emotional stability away to these to these trolls. Do not give them that power. I think that for the artists, they are being trained and they are somehow being guided to deal with these kinds of harassment, I would call it. They are very well guarded, but I think that the ones that suffer the most is the fans, because the fans then start in this sort of like, they literally feel like they are in this tower moment, and I think that this reading is more towards the fans than the artists themselves, actually. Because definitely the fans, sometimes when they hear rumors or when they hear a certain news, there's so much fear and anxiety and just hysteria in general, that some of them do feel like their world is falling apart. And it's not like that, guys. It's not like that. It's just that sometimes, some people need to sell news. And also, at the same time, we have to think that also there's something about SM that I know that they try to manipulate a few of these scandals for their benefit. It's like any kind of attention is good for them, any kind of publicity. So actually the ones that do suffer the most are the fans, because the fans feel so betrayed, so hurt, so attacked, and so like damaged. But for the company is like a transaction. For them it's like, okay, what do we have to do next? Okay, do we file? I don't think that it's about like doing some legal paperwork. No, for them it's much more about, okay, so they're talking about this member, okay, let them keep talking. It's a sort of a speculation, and it's a sort of, okay, they keep talking about him, so let them keep talking. And probably for the fans it feels like they are dying out there, because they do not know anything about this. They do not know what's real, what's not, and for the company is entertainment. So this is, I think that this moon card definitely is talking about this, it's talking about the fandom being a bit more understanding, and also a bit more emotionally intelligent, in the sense that you should pick what affects you and what not. That's what doesn't affect you, because I think that yes, something is going to happen that somehow is going to break a bit of stability for the group, but nevertheless, they are also in this process. There are some members that, through all this drama and all these changes and all this turmoil, I think that they are also opening their eyes to certain kinds of management, of bad management especially. They are also like learning a lot of things about the industry that is not it's not nice. They also will enter next year opening their eyes to a certain information that somehow had been kept from them. And I think that some of them will also will become a bit rebellious, because they will find a few things about their company, a few things about other people involved in the company. I think that there's a bit of brainwashing in SM, in the sense that if there's a lot of lies and deceitment and a lot of manipulation, and this is why some artists just cannot leave SM, is because there are artists that also are part of this manipulation, and this is why sometimes people are like, oh, but this member is friends with this other group member and they are like family. Yes, they are like family, but sometimes the older generations sometimes also manipulate the younger, and they are like, oh yes, because you're so lucky, yes, we are a family, yes, it's like they create this sort of bond, so the new generation doesn't, so they cannot see the flaws and the lies, so they do not see what's really happening. So there's a bit of manipulation from coming from different sides, and I think that it's not easy to get out of that company. It's not easy, especially because they sort of make this trap, where they are like, oh, but you belong here with us, we are a family, this sort of brainwashing, there's this, it seems like they tell themselves, they repeat to themselves this lemma, this motto. They are like, oh yes, we are family, we are family, we're family, and no, this is business actually. But I think that the members, there are a lot of members that are going to come to a sort of realization, and they're going to open their eyes very wide. Because there are going to happen a few things that I do not know exactly what it is, because this is general and there are a lot of members here. But I think that some of them that are a bit more intuitive, they will be able to see what's hiding behind the veil, what's hiding behind the curtain, who is running this show, and why they cannot set themselves free right now. But at least they know who they're dealing with, because there's a lot of manipulation here. There's a lot of manipulation. And also, it doesn't help that the fans, not the fans, the Sasangs actually, are still digging really deep to find something to ruin these idols' lives, because they actually want to drag these people with them, and then they pretend and they act like as if they love these people, and they do not love them. Because if you cannot respect an artist, you do not love that person, you do not admire that person. You just want to mess with their heads, mess with their minds. This is why I think that the guys have been really brave through all these things, because I feel like they do get a lot of threats. They do get a lot of malicious messages, a lot of threatening messages. They do get harassed and stalked a lot. They have a lot of stalkers. So I think that definitely for them it's not safe. They don't feel safe. They do not feel stable. They just know that they have to keep working, but that eventually the scandals are going to be there waiting for them. It's just a matter of time. And I think that, like I mentioned a while ago, I think that the real problem here is that actually the company like somehow doesn't fight this. They sort of are like, oh well, this is publicity anyway. It's something like this, and it's very frivolous, I know, but I just don't see these people worried. There's not one card here of like, oh, we are worried about our artist safety. No, not at all. Not at all. It's as if this was like a sort of new concept that they are bringing in. It's like, oh yes, like let's keep the gossips coming, or the rumors coming. But yes, I think that it will affect a bit their stability, but nevertheless, they will open their eyes also. And they will also, I think that some of the members also will have a sort of interaction with in some kind of social media, and they will ask these people to stop doing this. I think you will hear or you will see a lot of comments, or you will see them expressing this their sort of that they are very frustrated with people trying to get into their lives, into their private lives. I think that you will be witnessing a lot of idols like being more rebellious and being more outspoken about people like stepping on their boundaries. I think that they will be a bit more honest and a bit more like straightforward. I think that they they try to be nice, but now next year they're not going to be nice anymore. They're going to put some people in their places. And then for Lucas, you know, that I pulled just one card for him. We got the card of Broken Arrow, and the message is embrace the energy of peace. So yes, like I mentioned, I think that Lucas is finally being a bit more like acceptant and a bit more like more in peace. He's much more in peace with his circumstances. You know, I think that he's not fighting back anymore. He's not resisting this hiatus. I think that he is slowly like starting to just go with the flow, and just when the time is right for him to come out, he will. But he will not obsess anymore, and he will not be stressed anymore because of this. I think that he just trusts that somehow someday he will be able to return to his activities. For now, I think that he's still resting. But now he's finally resting, because I think that at the beginning of the hiatus, he was really struggling. He was really sad. He was really frustrated. He had so many emotions, and now he's like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. I'll just relax. I will not fight this. I will take this as a way to concentrate on myself, or concentrate on getting better, on I don't know, educating myself, on reflecting on myself, on thinking about ways of improve myself and my profession. You know, he's trying to see the practical side of being with free time and not so much exposure. So, you know, and also the broken arrow, it means that yes, if he does come back, he will not be the same person. I think that the fans will see him like be very nice as always, but he will not be the same person, you know, because for me the broken arrow, it means that somehow this experience had changed him. It had marked him, you know, it had somehow created a sort of wound, you know. I think that he just he will not be putting blames on anyone, not on himself either, but he will just like move on, but he will not forget this, you know. He is not going to be the same person. I think that he will come a bit more cautious, a bit more like distrustful, you know, because I think that I mentioned this when I read for him, that somehow he thought that he could trust certain people, and that certain people were his friends. And actually now, in this hiatus moment, he's starting also to see the real faces of certain characters. So I think that for him it's also like having this new vision of who these people that are supposed to be, you know, people that he knows for a very long time. He's starting to see who is who, and of course that this is not to say that he has a better relationship with certain people. No, he just realized that there were people that took advantage of his absence, and also that they took this moment to shine themselves, you know, or to actually take a sort of to take advantage of the opportunity of him being gone for a while. So, and also I think that he also heard a lot of people like criticizing him, and because, you know, I think I mentioned when I read for Lucas, the first time I read for him, I think I mentioned that he was someone's favorite. So, you know, Lucas does have this sort of like, he draws a lot of attention to himself, even though he doesn't pretend to do it. He's not looking for this, but he does. So there was a bit of envy. And I'm not talking about the members, I'm talking about other people that had been around for a while, and they are like, oh no, he is someone's favorite. Like, you know, a lot of jealousy, a lot of jealousy. So yes, but he will be okay. You just have to appreciate that he is connecting with peace right now, he's healing slowly, and that he's not that anxious or sad anymore. So yes, but be patient, because I think that he will also, it's going to take a few months for him to come back. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it, and of course I would appreciate your feedback if you're fans of NCT, all the units, because I do not know much about them, but I do love their music. I got to know them little by little because I have been doing readings for different units and different members, and I really, I think I finished this year getting really in contact and appreciating a lot of new groups that I didn't know when this year started. So I'm really grateful for this experience and this opportunity to get to know them. And I'm able to do this because you, with your recommendations, somehow get me closer to connecting with your favorite idols. So I do appreciate it. So yes, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.